Hey, how's it going, Sharon? My name is Jack here with Mr. and Mrs. Leeds. I wanted to thank you for trying out the site auditor. I hope you got some insight out of that. I wanted to follow up here with a video analysis of your website and to kind of further provide some insight as to what I can see as a search marketer in terms of your SEO, what's potentially out there for some of the keywords we could potentially grab, as well as how we would be able to get you there if we were to tackle this project on together. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get started. The first thing I did was I actually pulled up your website here in a tool called Ahrefs. Ahrefs allows search marketers like myself to look at the metrics of a website and see what's been working out for you. What I can see right off the bat is that you don't have a lot of referring domains pointing back to your website. Now, this is going to be an issue in terms of ranking for the keywords we want to rank for because in order to rank for that, currently authority plays a big role in Google's algorithm. And the number of backlinks and the number of referring domains pointing to your website in turn affects your authority. And so we need to make sure that we increase the number of referring domains and backlinks than where you're at right now. And to do that, we basically need to make sure that we have websites talking about you and your website. So in case you didn't know what a backlink is, it's basically any website on the internet that link back to your website via a hyperlink. So what I mean by that is, if, for example, if there's a blog that's called theplumbingblog.com, and they make a new blog post and they say, hey, if you're looking for the best plumbing repair or remodeling in Reading, Massachusetts, check out marktangoplumbing.com. And if the person clicked on the link, it would take them directly to your website. So that's considered a backlink. And in Google's eyes, this is a big trust signal that affects the authority on your website and builds it up. Builds the authority when you have more of these quality websites pointing back to your website. Because in Google's eyes, when these websites are linking back to your website, it tells Google that you're the kind of website that other websites like to talk about, and your website is the kind of website that other websites like to refer their visitors to. Because they're basically like, hey, go check out this website, click on this link, right? And so it's a very powerful trust signal, like I said, and what we need to do is we need to shoot for about 300 to 400 referring domains on about 1 to 4,000 backlinks. And that's really going to build that authority on your website, and we're going to really start ranking for all the keywords that we want to capture. All right? So let's see what kind of keywords that you currently rank for. We'll go from there. So Tango Plumbing, hold the #1 spot. Fantastic job. That is your brand keyword. So we absolutely want to make sure we hold that #1 spot for that. Plumber Reading, Massachusetts. Looks like you got the 3rd position there. Plumbers in Reading, Massachusetts. Got that #3 spot. Reading Plumbing, you got the 22nd spot. So the good news is you've jumped up 20 positions to hold the 22nd spot. So right now you're basically on the 3rd page for that. Plumber Winchester, Massachusetts, 40th spot. Plumber Linfield, Massachusetts, 36th spot. Reading Plumbing and Heating, 36, 38, 46, 42. Tango Coupon's not related to you. And Wakefield. So you're doing a great job of actually getting credit for the keywords that are related to your location plus plumbing or in the location. And so that's going to be big in terms of helping you rank for all these keywords because you're already getting credit for it, and it's a lot easier for us to come in and make it so that you start ranking higher for these keywords rather than if we have to make it so that we have to start making you show up for all these different keywords from the get-go. And so what we need to do is, because if you think about it, the dichotomy of someone that actually searches up these kinds of keywords into Google, you have to recognize that virtually no one actually goes to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th page when they search for a certain keyword or a query, right? They stay on the 1st page when they search up Reading Plumbing, and they find the top 10 websites, usually the top 5, and then they just go with the person that has a nice website and maybe they have some coupons or a special offer or something like that, right? And so what we need to do is we need to make sure that all these keywords where you're ranking the 36, 38, 22nd, 42, all these different keywords, and make sure that you're on the top of Google for those keywords, and especially on the 1st page, because that's when you actually become a key player, and that's when you really start bringing in traffic for these keywords that you're getting credit for, right? And so that's just a combination of just building that authority on your website, as well as a few other things that I'm going to mention here in a second. All right. So what I want to show you here next is kind of one of your competitions right here. These guys are called the Boston Standard Plumbing.com, and I have a feeling that you guys know about these guys because they seem like they're a pretty big player in this space and in this area. But you can see just what kind of metrics that they have compared to your website, because you can see they have a lot more referring domains, literally like 4 or 5 times more. No, yeah, 4 times more referring domains than you. How many? They rank for 3,300 keywords, and they have a lot more traffic going to their website than your website. So you can see just exactly that the number of referring domains, the number of backlinks that are pointing to your website is a big part of building the authority on your website and ranking you for all the different keywords we want to capture. Now, there's other things that they're doing. Their website is more fleshed out. They just have more content in general, which also affects your ranking. So we need to make sure that we build out the authority on your website and start building the authority, building the content as well, because that's also another ranking factor as well. Now, you might be thinking that you have more backlinks than these guys, but the reason why you're probably getting a lot of these backlinks is probably a couple referring domains that's being spammed, and that's pushing you to have thousands of backlinks this way. And what we need to do is we need to clean that up, because this is not accurate and it's actually skewing the results. All right. The next thing I did was I actually entered your some of the keywords, remodeling Boston, into our Keywords Explorer to see what kind of options we have. Now, I know we're specifically looking like around Reading, but there's just not enough search volume for those kind of keywords, so I just searched up Boston. So you can see kitchen remodeling Boston, Boston home remodeling, remodeling contractors Boston. There's a lot of these long tail keywords that have a decent amount of volume, not a lot of competition. So it's a great chance for us to come in and just swoop up over the competition, just rank you higher than them, and really start bringing in this kind of traffic that has to do with remodeling, right? So this is the kind of thing we would do, right? We go in and do some keyword research, figure out exactly the most optimal keyword set that has a decent amount of search volume, that's targeted to the specific services and product that you provide, as well as has lowest competition, so we can come in and really make you claim that #1 spot for all these keywords we want to capture, right? The other thing that I did was I actually typed in plumbing in Boston to kind of show you what kind of numbers we're looking at, because it's marktango plumbing, and you're already getting a lot of credit for everything plumbing related, because you have plumbing in your keyword, in your URL, because it's called marktangoplumbing.com, right? And so you can see Plumber Boston gets 200 searches per month. Boston Plumbers gets 150 searches per month. Boston Plumber gets 100 searches per month. So that right there is already 450 searches per month, and we can absolutely help you get on the top of the Google for this kind of keyword. And these numbers actually are lower than what it actually is, because this doesn't take into account other search engines, and it just tends to be a little bit lower than what it actually is. So you can kind of see what kind of traffic that you'd be getting to your website, as well as what percentage of those you might be able to convert. And I haven't even targeted any of the other nearby locations, as well as really diving into remodeling and drain services in Reading and all the nearby locations that you serve out in Massachusetts and Boston and the North Shore area, right? So lots of different options for us to help you out. What we need to do is we really need to kind of sit down and, well, maybe not necessarily sit down, but kind of over the phone, maybe we can do like a Skype video conference call and kind of ask you some questions about exactly what kind of business you're looking to do, which part of your business you're looking to expand, which areas you're really trying to focus on, and some of the keywords that we want to capture. And then really hash out a plan of attack and get started on this, because we can absolutely help you with this. We have plumbing companies that we already work with here in Denver and Colorado Springs and Colorado area, as well as in California. And so we know we're very well versed in this industry and this niche. And we know exactly what it takes to rank you for these things. Now, there is competition out there. There are people that have spent thousands of dollars into their SEO over years and years. And it's one of those things where it's not just a low-hanging fruit where we can just jump in and start claiming the #1 spot immediately. But as long as we start getting started, you're going to get there. And especially with the methodology that we have, where we start targeting some of the lower hanging fruit that has low competition, you're going to start getting results, and you're going to start getting leads and sales in the process of us ranking you for some of those bigger keywords that have more competition on them, right? So we need to make sure that we look into that kind of thing. There's a lot of other things that I did not talk about, such as like talking about like citations to your website that helps build the authority. There's also like ranking for the local map pack. So when someone searches up or Reading Plumbing, you actually might show up here if you have a Google My Business page. Nope. So if someone searches up Reading Plumbing, let's try this. Reading Plumber, MA. There you go. Marktango Plumbing. There you go. So we make it so that this right here, just like how you show up right here, and we need to have a directions page, right? Because it only shows your website. So that's because your website structure hasn't been set up correctly. And do it that way. I love the schedule service name, phone service, submit. I think that's really clean. I'd be curious to see what kind of numbers you're pulling with this right here. And we could try a couple of A/B split testing where we make the box a little bit on the left or right side or make it pop up. And then I like the online savings right here as well. So yeah. And is this a click to call? Yes, it is. Great job there as well. So whoever designed this website did a decent job. We need more content because really you have about 100, maybe 200 words of content on here. We need to shoot for about 1,500 to 2,000. All of our new websites that we rebuild or we like fix and stuff like that, one of the first things we do is always add content. It's very rare for us to see new clients that we pick up that have a decent amount of content on their homepage. And your homepage is what usually ranks for most of the keywords that we want to capture, so we need to make sure we do that. We also want to watch out for negative SEO elements that I can talk about as well. But I'll wrap it up here. I don't want to make it too much longer. But Sharon, this is something that we're absolutely very well versed in, and your business is kind of our target market in terms of our ideal clients, right? We like to work with local businesses in the area, plumbing, lawyers, dentists, gutter repair, fence repair, garage door repair. That kind of thing is right down our alley because we just have good relationships with these kinds of clients. The kind of results that we bring are people are very happy with it. They have a very positive ROI, which is why they've been in business with us for so long, and why we have such a high retention rate. And we're very good at what we do. And I'm very confident in our ability to rank you for all these different keywords we want to capture. And I'm confident in being able to align our interests and what we do in terms of SEO along with what you're looking to do with your website. That way, we'll handle all the internet portion and marketing for your website, and then you can just continue to focus on building your business, right? So I appreciate it, Sharon. I hope you have a great rest of your day and week, and I look forward to talking to you soon, all right? Thank you. Take care.